You know what I'm saying? Bring y'all another show on the late night tip. You know what I mean? I got a special guest on the show tonight. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. And you are you replaying it? Are you playing it on the phone or something?
Yeah, it's just playing over here. Hey, what's up? This is Branjor
Turn
from
the
Branjor Around the
volume
World.
down. Turn the volume
Yeah,
down.
let me turn this volume. Yeah, yeah. This is Branjor from Branjor Around the World. If you haven't seen my channel is just on an Afro-centric tip. My name is Branjor. I'm Panamanian. I'm Afro-Latino. And I do the whole gamma of going through Central America and going through South America. So when I see it, my perspective is going to be a little twisted than most people because when people see Afro, when they go to like Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, right now I'm in DR, they see it through a black experience, through a black orbit. And mine is completely skewed because I speak Spanish. I speak Italian too, but I speak Spanish for the most part. So, and I was born in a Spanish country, so therefore I see it differently. And then I'm dark, so I see it from different skew. My mother is real dark, my father's real light. So I see points of view that people don't see, or maybe rays of light that people don't see in things. So that's my take on the world as I see it. And the world for me is Latin America right now, Latin America right now. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Oh, by the way, right now I'm right next to Envy Hotel. The reason I can't go over my balcony is because the reception is lousy. I was trying to get up there so you could see what's going on in Envy. I'll probably go up there later, but I did go to Envy and talk to the owner. They don't have no reception right now. They really have no Wi-Fi connection, which is crazy because Super Bowl was this
Well,
weekend.
Harvey
And
don't.
no, I was there, man. I was there this morning. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. Because you know the weird part about it is this. Hey, Rich, there's some crazy stuff about it, right? So I rolled up on the owner earlier because I had somebody was talking to and I said, hey, can I do a show with you? Blah, 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 blah. He said, well, let me think about it. Very nice person. Let me not, very nice person who's courteous. He said, well, let me think about it. I'm really not a big fan of that because, it's just something people, my patriots don't feel iffy about it. So I was like, cool. I gave him respect. He gave me respect. I gave him respect. So I meet Miko that day, and we chopping it about something else. And then that night, I see Miko doing an interview at Auntie. And I'm like, whoa, and I'm across the street from Auntie. So I run up there. By the time I run up there, Miko's gone because I'm trying to do an interview too, and the whole nine. Miko's gone. So I see Miko the next day. I said, man, why, how you got it? Because I went to the owner. How you got it? He said, man, look, it's Connect. I said, it must be good because I'm a small little fry, man, but it's good when you have connects. But like I said, Envy had it going on. Let me first of all say, Envy is an awesome, awesome, awesome hotel. Please go there. It is awesome. I went to Envy because, like I said, my perspective is I've never been to DR, so I don't know anything about DR. All I know is that I really never wanted to come to DR because my own issues with the DR, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. My issues with the DR. But when I did go to Envy, like I said, the owner met me and he was cool. The place is gorgeous. I went back later. It was cool. But the Super Bowl, they were charging $25 for the Super Bowl. And I'm vertically challenged when it comes to money. I'm like, yo, I don't like being separated from you know what I'm talking about? I don't like being separated from my money like that, not for no reason. So I went into obvious and say, what, 12, I think $1,200 or 1200 something like that. It was $25. And I said, 20 for what? She said, oh, for the game. I said, but the game is free. It's on ESPN. Like, no, we started 25. So I took my butt to Roombas, the old Roombas in the middle. So they had it up there, and they were just everything was locked out. Everything was sold out in Roomba. No chairs, everything was reserved.
They
There was no
charge
girls
too.
allowed. No, they weren't charging, but no girls were allowed in there. Females weren't allowed in there unless they were escorted, and escorted they had to be buying something. So nobody was, and then the cops were outside. So and there was yeah, Rumba has one, two, three parts to it. All three parts were just sold out, but they just I guess look, my point of view is from a new person coming in, so I don't know what happened before me, but all I know is the cops were outside like do something, just do something, just do so it was cool. It was just relaxed. I mean, a whole bunch of guys watching a football game, and that was it. It was great. But afterwards, we left. I left early in the third quarter, and I went down to almost close to Ambi to another spot by casinos, and I watched the Super. Ended up watching the Super Bowl there because I wanted to drink, and I don't want to be too far for the house, so I went right there. And it was fun. It was fun. And then I did go into Ambi's at the end because they weren't charging after 11. And I'm sorry, I gotta, like I said, I'm economically challenged. So I went there like 11:30 when they stopped charging, and I went there for a minute and I left. So, but overall, I'm economically challenged. It makes no sense.
So what was
So
they giving away for $25 in Envy?
it it was just a buffet. It was a buffet,
So they
but
had a free
most people,
buffet.
yeah, but most people want to watch the Super Bowl. We didn't care about no
Right.
buffet. I mean, if we want to eat, we eat. But most people didn't want to eat because they came somewhere drinking and eating. We just want to just enjoy ourselves, have a cigar, just chill, chop it up with your boys. So, but Roomba was pretty good though. And the weird thing about this is the weird thing, right? They only opened up Roomba for that one day. I went past it today. It was closed. I said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Because I was, yeah, I went to Roombas today, and I was talking to the guy. He goes, yeah, man, the mayor, she ain't cool with you black guys. We love you guys. We love you guys, but the mayor, she ain't cool with you guys, man. She doesn't want you." I'm like, I don't know anything about your beef. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he's like, yeah, because they closed it the day before. They opened it just for Super Bowl, and they closed it now, and it's closed. He goes, wait until the 11th or something like that when they have the mayor race. He goes, we're gonna vote her out. We're gonna come back in. We're gonna vote her out. So it was one of those things. But for the most part, I've had nothing but a great experience. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to Dominican Republic. I am Panamanian. I am black. Most of all my friends are Spanish, or Dominican, Puerto Rican, but Dominican. I grew up in an all Dominican area. But I also have friends that are Haitians. So, and I'm a history buff. So I know about the Isla Española. I know the Bloody River. I know about Torrijos and all of that. So for me, a solidarity thing, I never wanted to go to Colombia, no, to DR, because I perceived that to them be doing injustice to the Haitians, and I couldn't see myself going out there and participating in that. So one day I'm talking to my boy, and he's like, "Yo," I told him that my same thing. He said, "I'm never going to DR because I don't appreciate the way you guys treat the Haitians." And he's like, "Yo, why you acting so stupid? Why you listening to people? You a smart guy. Why don't you go there and make informative choice or decision about it?" And I said, "You know what? You're right." So I came down here, and I'm glad I came because I was completely wrong. And I'll apologize to everybody else. And I think that's why you do something. That's why you go looking for answers that you don't have. And that's what Branjor Around the World is. Because I was wrong. People are nice, beautiful. I stayed in Tropicana Este with Haitians. I actually stayed in Tropicana Este. If you've been out there in Santo Domingo, it's where Haitians are at and Dominicans. And they're just cool. There was no beef, no none of that. Not that I saw. Now I only can speak on what I saw. And I even did a video about a young lady who had a custard shop, flan, right? And that's right in Tropicana Este. And there's all Asians on that side. And I was like loving it. They were working with each other. And I'm like, man, this is not what I see on TV. This is not what people have told me. So I fell in love with it. I thought the Haitians were nice. The Dominicans were friendly, nice. They really showed me around. So I fell in love with Santo Domingo. I've been to, no, not Santiago. I went up to Santiago, and with Santiago was cleaner than I thought. So as far as I'm concerned, I like Santo Domingo and Santiago. Now, I'm gonna tell you my truth because my truth may not be everybody else's truth. Sosua to me has a special niche in other people's mind, and to me, Sosua is it's a special place. It's a special place. You got to have a special mindset to come to Sosua, and it's not like any other part of Santo Domingo. So Santo Domingo is beautiful, people are nice, but when you get to Sosua, it's a different mentality. It's a rougher city. You got to have your head in the swirl. If not, they're gonna spin it. They're gonna spin it for you. You're gonna get spun here, because boy, they're gonna detach you from your money in a heartbeat. If you don't know how to keep a dollar, they're gonna save it for you. They're gonna put it right in their pocket. So from the you know what I'm saying? Yo, I mean a 50 cents or a dollar, which is 50. The money kills me here. The dollar.
$1
I
is
mean,
50 pesos.
there you go. 50 pesos. Something like from here to Sosua Beach, sometimes for 50 pesos, and then it was $3. It was 300 pesos, and it fluctuated every single day to 3. And I always had to
Hold on, hold
bargain
on.
it all
What
the way
was
back
300 pesos? The cab ride?
from Anvis to Sosua was 300 pesos. It fluctuated every single day. Every single day. I never had a day that I had to argue with somebody over something. And then I walked it from here to Anvis, and I'm like, this is a 5-minute walk. I started
Right, yeah.
walking it. It's
So
a
this your
5-minute.
first time in Sosua?
It's my very first time to Sosua. I'm a newbie, man. You guys, I'm a Colombia head. I go to Colombia, I go to Panama, I go to Costa Rica. I've been to Mexico, the United States, Canada. But my first time, I'm in love with this. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island. But I like the little islands. I like more the downtown. I like just running around town. I went to 27 Febrero, which is, yo, hood as hell. Loved it. And somebody almost stole my phone on me. I almost had to fight somebody, but it was cool. It was cool,
What happened, man?
Well, they told me you ain't supposed to film, and I don't understand that because everybody's acting real cool with me. So I'm filming in the street and everything else. But anytime I'm close to the street, I'm putting my camera on the other hand. So now I'm filming on the 27 de Febrero, and I see this motorcycle comes by me, but I'm not paying attention to it because I'm like, he came really close. I'm not paying attention. Then the motorcycle turns around and looks directly at me. And I put my hand, and then he runs past me like he was gonna grab my phone, and I put my phone down. He just zoom went the other way. I was like, damn. So I turned to the people, the guy that's with me goes, yeah, they stole my phone the other day, just like that. I said, wow. But I mean, again, crime happens everywhere. I was in a big thing for me. It never happened to me. I saw it coming, but like I said, you have to have your head in a swivel, man. You come to the city trying to play stupid, you won't get got. So it was fun. So that's my little experience. But the next thing, man, while I was in Sosua, and the reason I came here was for the flip flop boat ride. That's the reason I came out here. That and to meet the people.
Speaking of that, man, you want to give them a snippet of your video?
I think you got it. You can give it.
I can screen share it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna put his link to his YouTube up, but I'm gonna say this. This is his video, so
Yo.
you know how it is, man. People love it and they hate it.
I got a lot of things for it, but at the end of the day, I'm growing sexy. I don't put content like this in my show all the time, but when I do, this is my world. It's called my world.
All right, can y'all see that? Now, if you hate to see halfway naked women, just jump off the live right now. Now hold up, that's a chick right here. This is a female.
Oh yeah,
American female, right here.
Yeah, she's from Detroit. I call her the boss. She was hitting over $20. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, I called her the boss. I don't remember her name, but she told me her name. But she was hitting over 20,000, which is $37, and she gave it like 30 of those. So I was like, damn, you balling. I mean, she was hitting them girls lovely. The girls were loving her. I mean, all the girls were running up on her. I was like, yeah, you got to be my friend too, then.
Y'all pouring champagne? Y'all pouring beer on that ass?
Yeah, okay. And champagne. Oh, yeah. They were doing it big, man. But you know what? The beautiful thing is everybody was cool.
I'm in it right there, man. If y'all want to see the rest, y'all got to go to his channel and subscribe. I'll put the link up. His video is definitely popping. I see this video doing good numbers.
Yeah, but the weird thing is I was going to do the video because I'm going to do a couple more segments because I got at least 3 hours of that. And I only put 11 minutes. And I did, you know what? Let me do part 1, part 2, and then give you the whole thing. But those part, I want you to hear the music.
You got more parts of the video?
Yeah, I got like 3 hours of the video. I mean, I got a lot of parts of the video.
So that was Flip Flop Yacht Party?
That was Flip Flop Yacht Party. Like, thank you for Greg for inviting me. I called him up. I set that up before I came here, and that's the reason I came with my boy. We came out here. And believe me, it was worth every single dime. It was even worth more, man. Because I tell you what, it was done professionally, it was done right, and it was cool. And I got to meet some good guys, man. I met Bo Rakes, and you'll see me when I put that part out there. That's one of the coolest dudes, one of the realest dudes, because we hanged out for a while. One of the realest dudes I saw out there, and he was a blast. So it was good. Because my perspective is I see people as a fan. Because when you're at home and you see people in YouTube, you can't differentiate if they're real or they're not until you meet them. And then you assess who they are and you see how they are and how they move. If they move this way, you're like, okay, that's not what I thought he was. If he moves it like, oh, this cat real, whatnot. So Bo was one of them cats that he is what he is. He's not going to sugarcoat he is. And he was mad cool about it. So, and he was friendly. So it was cool. And like I said, I met the Cuban cigar smoker up there because he was up there and he was cool. But the thing that shocked me is how tall you guys are. Damn, you guys are tall. Because I'm thinking you guys are short. Man, all you guys are tall. Man, I run up on you guys. Man, I'm ready up on me.
Ain't that damn tall now.
Oh, Bo Rakes is short. Well, he's shorter than me, and he'll let you know. But he'll beat the crap out of you. He a big boy though. You know.
Right.
He was but Bo Rakes is, yeah, he a little shorter than me. But everybody else, like Cuban Cigar, 6'5", And I rolled up
Oh
on
damn, I
Miko,
didn't
and
know he
he,
was that tall.
oh yeah, Miko 6'1". I rolled up on Miko thinking he's short. Miko he ain't short. You
I
know,
mean, I
I
could
rolled
tell
up.
Miko was at least 6 foot, but
Yeah, he's 6'1". The mayor is like 6'2". I rolled up on the mayor, and the mayor was
oh, the
six
man
foot.
6'2", he looked as short too.
Thank you, because he was standing next to Miko. He's like 5'10", 5'11". Because when he talks like Miko, you see the height difference. But when you run up on them, they're like, oh damn, everybody here is tall. Man, that's just me, man. But again, I'm vertically challenged. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm vertically challenged. So, I ain't gonna say I'm short. I'm just vertically challenged. Back in the days, I was the perfect height. Now I got smaller. So, but man, I had nothing but love, man. Look, DR, they treated me good. Like I said, I went to Flip Flop. I went to Flip Flop, met Greg. He signed me up. We went on. We got a little boat. We went up there. The excursion was top notch from the beginning. He had Chinese food. I think he had 4 boats. And every boat, I think I had different food, but the food was great off the chain. He had beers, the shit
So
was
y'all was
cold.
able to go from boat to boat?
Yeah, at the end, because we did like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And the weird thing is, first there was like a modeling session with the girls. So the girls went to the front of the boat and just started dancing. And it's like a Jay-Z video, and then Cuban cigar smokers up there putting Jay-Z music up there, and we just driving on, and it was just like doing a music video. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So we just fly through, and there's a lot of music and stuff like that. But at the end, like I said, it was like hanging out with your boys at a family reunion. It really was no stress, no muss. Everybody brought their own liquor. And everybody was just cool until we all joined all the shifts together and everybody could walk from one to the other. And then that's when Bo Ray came to ours and we went to theirs and everybody was out there. So, I mean, like I said, it was top notch. I loved it. I came in at night and that's where you saw the image, the video of me motor content from there all the way back to Anvi. But it was just top notch. And that's one thing that I like.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
while
I'm
I'm
gonna
here,
try a disclaimer, man. Whatever my guests talk about, hey, man, it's not, it don't reflect my channel. Or whatever
nah,
videos they
man.
put out, it don't reflect Roll the Tape. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so sound like you had a great time, man. So let's talk more about your channel, bro. What else you got on? I see you got some Cartagena videos on there too, huh?
Well, my thing is I love Cartagena. Cartagena is one of my spots. Look, first of all, the one thing that all Spanish, wait, my light is acting crazy. The one thing that most Spanish places have in common is that the people are beautiful, but the government is garbage for the most part. And Colombia is a beautiful place, but if you understand the people. And for those people who don't know, Colombia, like 30 years ago, was a traffic for cocaine. I did a video on it about what's his name, the drug lord, that the drug lord that was there for 30 years. And because of that, the country basically nobody does business with Colombia. They used to traffic a lot of drugs through and from Colombia with cars and clothes and book bags, or however they did. So nobody does basically do any business with Colombia, and therefore they don't import and export anything. Nothing they export for the most part is narcotics. So therefore the revenue is garbage. I mean, there's nothing really that they produce. And then with the influx of Venezuela people there, you have ageism, sexism, and then you have racism there. That the economy is really bad. And that thing that happened in Honduras, no, not in Ecuador, that brought the economy down because of the gas, it impacted Colombia big time. So basically, the Colombians are really struggling in Colombia. Um, but if you go there, you won't see that part of it. You would just see them being happy, joyful, great people. And they are great, man. I love Colombia. I am definitely going to move to Colombia. I think it's one of the great places to be. But like I said before, you have to understand the dynamics that's at work in Colombia. With that being said, when you go to Medellin, Medellin's beautiful. You're gonna see a lot of models, tall people, great. When you go to Cartagena, more darker people, a little more body, looks more like Dominican Republic. When you go to Barranquilla, you're gonna be more model, more Mediterranean, because Mediterranean settled in that part of Colombia. Now, I like Cali because Cali's more Afrocentric, and I spent a lot of time in Cali because I thought Cali, to me, was more relaxing and good from a Afro Latino point of view. Because I give you a good
All
one.
right.
I just came back from
You got
Cali
one
3 months.
subscriber. If y'all subscribe,
Okay.
man, just put it up so I can see that y'all subscribe to his page. You know what I'm saying? It's important to get it out, get the brother going
Hey,
with it.
thanks.
Just remember me, man, when you hit 100,000.
Oh no, I'm not. I just do this for fun, man. You like I told you before on screen, man. You do it so well and so easy that people don't know that you're working, man. But like I said, man, thank you for everything you done for me because you always reaching out to me, you know. But like I said about Colombia, Colombia, you really have to have your head in a swivel. And what I like about Colombia is this, though: the people are beautiful and nice, and there is, and I got into it with a slide. That's another YouTuber. I got into a slide for a while. Me and Sly went at it back and forth in the show, and it was about racism in Colombia and in Spanish countries. And he couldn't understand where I was. He understood, but he didn't see my point of view. And my point of view was from a Latino point of view. And my point of view is a little skewed from everybody because I am black. And my father is light skinned, and my mother is dark skinned, and I know how to travel in those worlds. And I was letting them know that there is such thing as racism in there. We just don't talk about it because we're polite about it. We just don't talk about it. It's nobody's business. It's like going to your house and you argue with your family. It's nobody's business, you know, because at the end of the day, you're still family. And that's what I was trying to let them know that although we are good like that, we still have racism. And the weird thing is Colombia and most Spanish places, but Colombia especially, forget the racism. They have ageism. Like a woman who's 36 don't get a job. She won't get a job. She just won't get
Damn.
a job. A woman, and that's what people don't get. A woman won't get a job. A woman who's 36, let's say you even a nurse, because I have a friend that's a nurse in Colombia, won't get a job after a certain age. They just won't hire you. So that's ageism, that's sexism. A woman that's not considered as valuable as a man. So therefore they're, and then and people may be mad what I'm about to say. Yet you sleep your way to your job. A lot of women, they tell them that you have to
Oh
give up
man.
sex to get a job. So now you
Yeah.
have that. And then on top of that, you have racism. That's a factor too. It doesn't play a big factor, but it does play a factor. And the most important part of that is you have to be beautiful in Colombia to get a job on top of all of that. So now you have a few factors that are working towards you, that are working against you. So when you look at it from my point of view, skewed towards the black point of view, we have it worse than anybody else, as far as I'm concerned. Because when I was in Vallarrica, even though they were happy people, and I tell this to everybody else, black people are used to suffering. That's why we don't say nothing. We're used to suffering. You see, most other races, they're not used to suffering. So to them, if they suffer, like, ah! When black people get something, they're like, no, we're used to it. You know, so that's why we don't leave the country. That's why we stay in bad conditions. That's why they do stuff. And I'm like, but from an outside looking in, going, whoa, why is this way? And that's my perspective that I was trying to tell Sly last time. It's like when he said that thing with Negro, I was like, yeah, there is racism here. It's subtle, it's there, it's in your face, but we're not going to talk about it because black people not talk about it. They paint white people paint themselves as black people and run around like, la morena. That's offensive, but we don't say nothing because it's cool. So that was my point of view with that. I was going to turn it no, that's just my point of view, man. I'm subscribing on now too. I love seeing successful bloggers with multiple sources of content supporting each other. Oh, okay, cool.
It's
Um,
real brother hadn't
yeah,
traveled yet, man. He be on all the traveling YouTube pages. He got to get on out the country, man. I think he just got his passport.
that's
And
what's up,
I
man. That's the
hope
best
when
thing to
he
do.
get out the country, he'll give me a report and let me know how everything went. Because you know that's that's monumental, man. When a brother first get out the country, man, it's like the first trip, man. You never forget it, man.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy my little drink now.
Uh-oh, the story's about to come out now. So
Oh, no, no,
how the
no.
women in Sosua, man? How everything going with that?
Man, I'm gonna stay out of that whole thing right now because I'm
Okay.
finalizing my divorce. I'm finalizing my divorce pretty soon.
Oh, I got
Probably this month. But
it.
Sosua is like I said, Sosua is a dream. I don't see the same Sosua you guys see it for real. I've had multiple conversations, multiple people, even in Envy. I've had it even with Cuban Cigar Smoker. We got into this conversation when we were flip flop too, and a few people. Sosua is a beautiful area. So Sosua is a beautiful place. Period. I'm gonna give you this. Women are clingy. Women are really down to earth. They're really good. I'm not talking about and I'm not talking about the mangoes. Let's not talk about mangoes because I don't think
Yeah.
people, most women don't think us mangoes. Nobody wants to grow up to be a damn mango or none of that. I'm talking about women at Santo Domingo, women that from Santiago, everything else. They're beautiful people. They want to be taken care of, but it's a different way of thinking they have. You know, there are women that want to be with their man. They're very clingy. They're very passionate, and they get attached real quick, which I found they get attached real quick. And me and somebody, I'm not going to be throwing names. Me and somebody were talking about that, and the minute you start talking to them, and if you speak Spanish, I just happen to speak Spanish. If you speak Spanish and you treat them well, they're automatic. They talk about marriage and they want to be with you, and nobody could be with you. And it's the weirdest dynamic that if you're not used to it, it's going to mess your head up. Now, if you come out
Right.
here for if you only coming out here for mangoes and you don't want a connection, then all you're going to get is mango. Now you are just, people might say culture vulture, but that's your thing. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is this: if you come here for one thing, you're only gonna get one thing. You're not gonna get the whole totality of the country. Please understand. Enjoy the country. I'm not an expert. I just got here, so I'm nowhere close to being an expert. My thing is, I'm taking my butt to Santo Domingo, which I was. I told Santiago, I'm going to the waterfall tomorrow. I want to see the country for what it is. But what I've seen of the country, I am so shocked that they're so beautiful. I'm shocked they got so many cars. I've seen Mercedes, Hummers. I'm like, huh? Ooh. And the first they telling me, yeah, they got cars, but they have no houses. But they flossing. So, they flossing hard.
I
But
don't believe
I
that.
met a
And they got houses,
no, no, no. All the people told me, oh no, people around here, that's all they do. They buy a car before they buy a house, and they want to floss. They want everybody to know they're flossing, and they live with my mom still. So, and it's not the same.
Yeah,
As a matter
I
of
mean,
fact,
I get it, but if you pushing a Range Rover, you in Santo Domingo, you got you know, it's a lot of people out there with money though. But I would say this about
the,
Sosua. Like if you take all the mangoes away, it's still a great place to go to, man. The setup is just it's nice, man. Anytime you can go to a country and you fly there for less than $500, $400, and you can get a villa, 3-bedroom villa, a 2-bedroom villa with a pool for $100 a night. I mean, you winning, man. You winning. So
yeah.
it's an amazing town. It's definitely an amazing town, man.
Well, you know the weird part about that, right? Because I was in I was in Santo Domingo. I was hanging out with this Haitian girl. The only reason I'm saying Haitian because she was a little darker too, and she was Haitian. So I'm hanging out with this Asian girl, and my boy is getting married. He's Dominican. He's an ex-football player, right? So he's getting married, but his girlfriend is white, like blonde hair, blue eyes. To me, she's Caucasian, but it just happened to be Spanish, right? But I'm thinking from a black perspective, living in the United States. So I looked at her like, hey, yeah, my boy, he's getting married to this girl. I'm looking at my boy's black. I don't know why I said it, but like, my boy's black. She goes, no, he's not. He's white. So I'm like, what are you talking about? So she's schooling me. I said, what are you talking about? To me, he's black. He goes, no, he's light skinned. He's white. I said, no, he's black. She's like, no, he's light skinned. I said, well, explain to me this concept of yours because I don't know because I know it, but I want to hear from her. Our concept is this, and most people's concept is this. And I was listening to Taylor Made and Greg talk about this earlier, and I think their perspective is their own, and I think they're valid. I'm just giving her point of view as she saw it. Her perspective is this: if you're light skinned here, you pass as white. There's no difference between a white person and a light skinned person here. You have the same value. Why? Because the president Torrijos, and after him is kids, right? Declared that to be so. Remember, Torrijos was his grandmother was Haitian, right? So he's come from a black area, and his father was a Spaniard. So he was light skinned. He wasn't white. He was light skinned. But all of his stuff shows as him being white. Now, if you go back to history, and we go back to history, and you saw in 1954 when Dominican Santo Domingo or the La República Dominicana, when they were doing the brochures and whatnot, all of their brochures were white people. They were never a black people. When all the population was black. Remember, they didn't start colorizing or degentrifying or however you put it until that age, till like 1940, 1965. They started bringing people from Europe to Santo Domingo or to the Dominican Republic to change the color or to lighten the colors, they say. And then they practice this thing of you tiene que marir la raza. You got to bring up your race, right, by marrying light and marrying white. So therefore, they created this system And I explained it to people, and they get mad at me. But the concept that I used to imagine if the country was, I'm not saying it is because I don't want nobody coming at me sideways. But imagine if people, this is Planet of the Apes, the actual movie, no, nothing crazy, Planet of the Apes, when you ran your own country, right? And you made the humans subservient to you. Therefore, you changed all the rules towards you. Therefore, they changed all the rules to favor them. So if they were black and they became light skinned, they became white. They didn't see themselves in no in a lesser role than a person that's a stranger coming to their country and was white. So therefore, they made a class that was white. So to them, they are white. Light skin is white. So there's no difference between a blonde person, blue eyes, to a light skinned Dominican that doesn't have blue eyes. They're the same. So therefore, that's what she was explaining to me. I was like, but she goes, but you're dark, I'm black. But my boy, who's African, who's light skinned and has straight hair, he goes, he's white. So I'm joking around with him all day, like, yo, you white, you white, because he considers himself black, because he's light skinned with straight hair. I was like, yo, you white. He's like, get out of here. But anyway, but that's when it hit me that the concept actually hit me. That's when I talked to a lot of Dominicans in the United States. They're like, I'm not black. And they're not, because I got to respect, when in Rome, do as the Romans. I have to respect your gangster. If you are so cool that you can change the minds of a whole country, you got to be gangster. So I got to give it to Torrijos. He actually created a world that bent towards him. Because remember, what, 10 years ago, he actually went to the United Nations and wanted to make Santo Domingo a white country. He said that they were white. He went to the United Nations and told them they're white. The United States is like, no, you're black. Stay in your place. You're black. You're black.
Man, my take on this, man, because we discussed this quite a few times on the channel. And my take on it is, man, if somebody say they Chinese, let them be Chinese, man. You know what it is? Because it's like arguing with somebody about religion. Like, you can't convince them that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then at the end game, the end game is like, what's the purpose, man? Because they feel that who they are, and that's they feeling. We all know what's up though.
No, but this is the difference though, and this is the difference why I differ in that perspective, because this is it, right? The United States made black people black. Okay, let me go back and give you the historical part of this, right? The only
Uh,
reason we are considered black is because of slavery, right? Because the United States, the slave owners, right? The slave owners at that point in time were marrying slaves, right? And Alton Hughes, I'm sorry, made a great book about that. But at those times, the slave owners were marrying, raping, not marrying. They were raping their slaves, and they
slave.
had multiple children. And if they married or they raped the children's children, which is 16, 17, and had kids, the kids were light skinned. Now, when they died, right, because they were his children, they had a right to his property. And black kids of the kids, whichever were light skinned or whatnot, had a right to his property because they were his children, right? Because black people were slaves and they were property, right? So the government decided to say this: if you have one drop of black blood in you, you are black. Therefore, you are a slave. Therefore, you have no right to his land. That's the only reason black people became black. Because you have some black people that look white as day, has blue eyes, light skin, straight hair, look white. But the government said if you have one drop of black, 116th rule, anybody can look it up. You have the 116 rule. You are
One
black,
drop
therefore you
rule.
have no right to yeah, one drop of blood. You have no right to his inheritance. That's the only reason they did not become white in this country. So there's a historical perspective on that. That's the only reason we think that way, because it was put to us by the government that they're black, but they're really not. Because if you don't look black, there's a tribe or there's a group of people in South Carolina that are all black, but they're all white. And they were like, huh? And you can look it up on YouTube too. But I could understand the point of view. But that's the government telling us, hey, look, man, basically saying, nigga, stay where you're at. I don't care if we raped you, if we took care of you, if we did whatever we are, you're still a concubine and you have no heir, you have no right to this money. And that's the only reason white people or kids that look white are not considered white in this country. That's why if you have somebody like Alicia Keys, she's not considered white because she has a drop of blood in her. But in other countries, they don't have that rule because they don't have that slavery issue. So therefore, they took that out. So you are white in that country. And I can't deny that. If you look white and you perceive white and you live in a white society as a white person, then you're white. Because there's nothing about you that's black. Because basically, if you want black person marries another white person and then marry another white person, the kid after like 2 generations is not gonna look black.
So
So
what if they wouldn't have made that rule? So are
then
we?
we Well, what I'm trying to let you see is how Spanish people see it. We never had that. Remember, okay, go back to Santo Domingo, right? Santo Domingo, look, everybody knows history, but I'm just going back to Santo Domingo. No, I'm going to the island Española. Española is broken into two lands, right? One was by Spain, the other one by Haiti. Haiti people, the oppressors, they overthrew their oppressors, and they were the only people in the world that overthrew the oppressors. And then everybody boycotted them. And then France came back a couple of years later, and wanted them to pay for by throwing them out of the country. And they finished paying it in 1976 with like a billion or like $12 billion when it's all said and done. So they ended that in 1976 from back then. That's why the country's corrupt. And no, that's why the country was bankrupt. And it's still bankrupt to this day from paying all that money that they owed. And they took all of the trees and stuff like that. But okay, cool. But I'm not dealing with that part. Let's go to Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic was grown by Spaniards who had slaves, and the slaves were farmers. But when they invented the sugar mill and when they invented machines to make sugar and whatnot, they went home and they told the Dominicans, like, well, what are we going to do? He goes, we're going to give you the land. He goes, but we don't know how to land. He goes, yeah, but we taught everything to you. If you need us, call us as your motherland. We'll give you the money and everything else. So you have two diverse countries. You have one that was boycotted by the United States, France, because they were scared that they're going to spread this new form of freedom to all the other slaves all over the world. So they boycotted them and put them in a little cage, basically, in a little slot. And then you have another one who told them, hey, no, you go. You know, of course, Haiti got a little, when the French people came over, they took over Santo Domingo to try to pay them, and they had that 12-year reign where they abused them and whatnot. And then Santo Domingo got them back out. But let's take that out of it. Santo Domingo was a free colony where it just had people. Now they have to think how to make the money, and that's when they came to the colonization thing. And the only thing they have to export was vacation. So the vacation, if you look in 1954, 1945, 1965, you're going to see all the brochures are white people, even though the whole country's black. The whole country's black. But they got it off. They got it off. Now, when I came to this country, like, man, women, they got some great kids. Why do you think we come here? Like, whoa, look at this. You can date whoever you want over here and feel like a star. You feel wanted. You feel, I can understand why the attraction is to come here, because you feel wanted as a man, you feel needed. And even though you really, everybody's using each other for the same goal, just to be wanted and take care of issues. But that's my take on this racism thing. Does it transport to every other country? Yes. Mexico, 51% of Mexicans in the 1800s were black until they married and they came out. But Mexico, for the most part, was black. What? The president was black and the generals were black. Remember
Do
when
you
they
think a lot of Mexicans consider themselves white?
They know this. They know this. They know this. They know the history. They know the food. They know the history. Look, you don't believe me? Go on YouTube. Or go on Wikipedia and see if there was a Mexican president. There was. He abolished slavery in Mexico. The generals were black. I'm not telling you. If you look, you ask them. 51 at one point in Mexico, 51% of black people in Mexico were black. Why? Because all the slave trade came through Mexico. Before they came to the United States, they went through Mexico. Remember, 12 million people were slaves. Only 500,000 of those came to the United States. 500,000. Not even 1% and 1% came to the United States. The other 11.5% went back to Central America and South America. That's what bugs me out when black people are like, you were Spanish? We didn't know the black people outside of the United States. I'm like, dude, you only had 1% of black people in this country.
There's more black people in Spanish countries than in America.
Thank you. There's only 1% came. 12%, no, there's 12 million. Only 500,000 came to the United States. And all of them most of them came through Mexico, off the triangle. And everybody was housed in Mexico. But anyway, long story short is only 1%, 500,000 of 12 million came to the United States. So there's not that many black people that were slaves, that were from the United States. They were mostly Central America. If you go to Costa Rica, you go to Limon.
Were there black people here in America before they came?
Well, I don't know. You're talking. I like history. I like world history. I just happen to I like this history because that's what I look at when I go to countries. I want to see the food, the ethnicity, how black people are doing. I mean, I don't put this in my channel because I don't know if people find the same thing I find interesting. But I want to look like I'll go to I went to Cartagena and I was looking at the black thing in Cartagena. But I went to Valley Rica and I really enjoyed that. I went to a couple of black places in Cartagena, in Colombia, and I was looking at the diaspora, the black people there. I mean, the LeBron brothers, right? They're from Harlem, New York. No, they're from Harlem, and they started the whole salsa thing. Man, the LeBron brothers were from New York, and then they moved down to Cali and started the whole salsa movement in 1962, and then they die. But if you look at the whole thing, how everything ended up in Cali and whatnot, it's crazy. So my thing, like I said, my view is on a, even though I'm going through all these countries, I look at it from a black person perspective or from a Latino person perspective. It is what it is, man.
All right. That was a lot
Oh,
of
but
information, bro.
huh? No, I can go on about this for. But the thing is this though, every
But
black
man, I
country, like
mean,
if you,
like, I mean, like, I respect everything you said, but at the end of the day, these people don't want to be black, man. I think we should just focus on the ones that accept, the blackness. You know what I'm saying? Because
you'll be
it's like,
shocked.
man, it's like we're kicking on a dead horse, man. Like
No, no,
we
no, because I'm
can't
not coming
convince
from that
these
point.
people, man.
I'm not trying to convince nobody you're not black. No, that's not my point of view. My point of view, you are. I love the Dominican people. And look, when I'm in Rome, I lure the Roman. I love who they are, what they are. I'm not trying to change them, but I understand you now. Now, when she explained that thing to me, I understand how you consider yourself white. So to me, you are white now. When I speak to Dominican, I can stand with you and understand you. Until she broke that down to me, I couldn't understand you because to me, it didn't compute that you call yourself white, but you're black. It didn't compute to me. But now that I understood, because I know the history behind it, it makes sense. Because Torrio was black. Well, he was light skinned. His mother was black. His father was white. And if you go generation, it goes back to hating the slaves. So now I can see them like, I understand why. You don't have to tell me anymore, but I understand you understand the reason why black people, light skinned black people here and white people here are on the same page. No wonder you could be a ally Ferd or you could be a cat and come out here and marry whoever you want. Not that you have money, but your skin is so light that you could pass. And your mother's white, your father's black, and they created a utopia that's successful, and that's a good thing. Now, does that work everywhere? It doesn't work in the United States. We consider you black here, but in your country, you're white. So when you come to our country, you're shocked that we calling you black, which will be a shock to you too. But I could understand, and understanding is the reason we're all around. So I'm not trying to make you white or black, man. I really don't care. My thing is, I want to understand, and once I understand, I'm cool with that. Keep it moving. But that's what I learned when I was here this week. That whole thing didn't hit me there. Now, do I know different areas because I'm black and my mother's black and my father's light skinned? Do I know how they move in Spanish country? Of course. Like I told somebody else, my mother couldn't get a job at working at a bank. She'd tell you straight up. We couldn't go for those jobs because we're dark. Only light skinned people work in the bank. They only want to serve people there. Do I know that? Yes. When I go to Colombia, when women tell me, yeah, we can't work there because we ain't pretty enough, I understand. I've heard it all my life. And it's not about being black in Colombia because I'm not talking about the blackness anymore. There's ageism, sexism, there's so many things. And again, in Spanish country, it's not even about being black. And please, people don't think I'm talking about being black. In Spanish people respect money. And if you're black in the United States and you come with money, nobody's gonna look at your color. Or even if you're Spanish, nobody looks at really your color. They look at just that now you're talking about money, wealth. So it is what it is, man.
Now I hear a lot of people say, when you go to these foreign countries, they well, let me ask you a question. Do you think
Okay.
they respect us because we're Americans? You think they respect us because they feel like we have money? Or what's your take on that? Like as an
Oh, that's
expat
easy.
moving to another country?
That's easy, man. People always tell me this, and I give them a couple of stories, man. But people tell me this. I'm Panamanian. I throw my well, I'm not Panamanian. I'm American, but I was born in Panama, but I'm American. I throw my passport everywhere I go with pride. With pride. This is shield. Look, we were all well. I was in the military. Most people in the military, we understand, man. Overwhelming force anywhere you go is what we do. There's a pride about having that. And this is what I never understand about expat people. Don't badmouth the United States, man. You don't badmouth somebody else when you leave this country. To me, I can't deal with it. I really don't. I mean, maybe because I'm in the military, whatnot. But my thing is this: even if you have some beef, man, keep that to yourself. My thing is this: we have the greatest country in the world. You don't know how good it is until you leave this country, man. This is the greatest thing in this world. We have the best ingenuity, people, money, and everything else. Just because we're spoiled to a certain extent and we want to go somewhere else and see it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with you. Now going back to what you said, I'll give you the story. My cousin, he lives in Brooklyn. My cousin used to have dreadlocks down to he cut it, but he lived in Brooklyn. He used to go to Panama. In Panama, at that point, it was a semi-free country. Right now, it's democratic. Back there, semi-free. He went to Panama. They got into a fight. He didn't get into a fight, but in Spanish countries, they're not going to arrest one person. They're going to arrest everybody. They're not arresting you. If you get into a fight, The whole group goes with it, right? So they put everybody in jail, but he didn't bring his passport with him, right? So he went to jail, and they had him there for like 3 days, and he trying to call his mother. He finally called his mother, and he said, "Where are you at?" He goes, "Oh, come here to take your passport." He goes, "Because he been born in blah, 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 blah." They got him the passport. They let him go that same day. So, don't worry. Everybody else is still in jail, but he left because he had his passport. Now, I don't know what's that to you. To me, that's get out of jail free card, you know? And that would happen almost everywhere you go in Spanish countries. They don't want to beef with you, you know? There's a difference. There's a difference. If you don't know it, I know it. There's a difference. I have a Panamanian cedula. I can walk around without no passport. I carry my passport. I know the power in it. That's why I don't understand what people bad mouth. Oh, and I heard that today. In America, we and I'm like, man, be quiet, man. In America, we good. We good. Just
I mean,
enjoy
yeah,
it.
I agree, man. A lot of guys, expats, they do bash America, and we had a like a show on there. We talked about that, and I
You
was just
think?
saying a lot of good
Oh,
things that we do have here in America that they don't have in other countries, man. Like, just imagine if you was born in the DR and your family wasn't rich, or you was born in Colombia.
please.
I mean, what would your life be?
I'll tell you what
You
it
wouldn't
is. Give
have
me
the
one
same
second.
opportunities, man.
I'm gonna get to that real quick. Your passport action, man. I'm a big fan of yours. Like I said, I'm a big fan. So I'm listening to you give me a question. Big fan. I've seen all your stuff, man. I see it all the time. I just want to put that out there because I'm a big fan of his, though, for real. Going back to your question. Easy. I'm a black kid that was born in there. I know how to. I sometimes we didn't eat for 3, 4 days. Sometimes we had to beg in the street. Done that. You ain't not telling me anything I haven't done, man. So born in a Spanish country. My mother came to this country by herself. My father stayed in Panama, right? My mother worked as a cleaning houses and whatnot to get us here. My father was chilling. He got a government job. He's chilling. He's doing whatever men do in those countries. I'm not gonna get on to that, right? We were left in the house by ourselves, 4 of us. We had to learn to cook, clean, and sometimes you're going to school with a pissy outfit, but that's what you do because you try to clean it yourself, and you have to go in a uniform and you go back home. There's only 4 of us. There were no parents, you know. So when I come to these countries, I know the country. I know how they work. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to tell me more about the country. I know the country. I know how they work. I know how poor people are. You know, I know how to make egg and rice. That's what we all eat. You know, I know how to go to get yuca, banana, and make a soup out of it, or make something out of
Yeah,
a little
you
quail
ever ate
or whatnot.
cereal with water?
All the time. But or evaporated milk. Fuck out of here.
Hey,
Evaporated milk.
you ever ate
Yeah, because that's the only thing we had.
mayonnaise sandwiches?
No. We put butter or a little bananas in there. But what I'm saying is, we didn't even have
You
sandwiches,
ever
man.
borrowed
Remember?
sugar from your neighbor?
Yeah. But I'll give you one even better than this, man. I'll even, and you guys gonna think I'm wild, and you might even think I'm lying. And this is going back because you're telling me about childhood, how these people are. When I
Oh,
was
you never
younger,
did answer this question, man.
what was the question? Do you think they are denying their African descent or just saying it? No, you have to remember something. This is what they're taught. They're not they're not being mean to you. They're not being bad. They're not really evading your question. But if you're taught a history that is yours, that you think is right, it is. And I was talking to somebody about that the same way. If somebody gets in a car crash in front of you, right? They get in a car crash where people are in 4 different corners, right? The first person in one corner may say, "Hey, I saw him hit this person." The other corner is like, "Nah, I saw him hit the other person." The other corner might say this one or the other one. All of them see the same car crash, but in different points of view. Everybody has their own point of view. You have to respect them. Their point of view is this: it was given to them by their government. And if their government tell them from when they're younger that they're this, then that's what they are, because they don't know any different. And you tell them something else, it's like you trying to tell somebody about God. You can't change somebody's belief. They have to change their own beliefs. If their belief system, if their belief system is fixed, then that's who they are. You know, you can't change somebody's morals or who they are. You know, and that's what there's nothing wrong with them. You know, the system was started a long time ago, and the system came to fruition because he has a beautiful country of mixed people. All of them are light. 70% of Santo Domingo is mixed. Remember, they started all as Africans. They started all being jet black. How you start from being jet black?
Right.
Think about it. All of them were jet black. There was no light skinned people here because they were all Africans. They started jet black. But Torrijos started there. Torrijos. Now 70% of his country is light skinned. 14% consider themselves black, and what is it? 60% consider themselves white because he brought them in from Spain. But to create 70%, No wonder he doesn't want the Haitians in because he's going backwards. You know what I'm saying? So he did create something, and then he backed it up by saying that you have to marry white or you're not right. He created, and that's a saying in Spanish. And you can talk to any Dominican. They always marry light. They always mind because that's what they taught. That's how the country pushed, and that's what they feel. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you've been taught. But I'm not gonna go up to you and say, "Oh, tú no eres blanco." I'm not gonna tell you you're not white or you're not. When you tell me, "No, I'm not black, I'm mixed," but that's what you were taught. That's what you are, because that's what you are. You're what you believe you are, and if that's what your country told you you are, and that's what you work for, it's a mixed country. It's a mixed country. And in this country, they decided to put light skinned people as white people, which I'm like, yo, I'm down with that. That's you cool. What he said, what he put in? What was the last one?
He's saying America only good for three things, man. I mean, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it, bro. Like,
But you see, this is the thing I can't first of all, you have every right to your opinion, and you're
all
right.
right,
As far as I'm concerned, you're right. I'm not going to debate you and stuff like that because that's not me. My thing is, I'm going to give you my perspective, man, from an outsider looking in, an insider that's here and I go to Spanish countries. Um, I haven't seen anything bad about the United States, man. First of all, we overwhelming force, so we don't military. We overwhelming force. We're not going with one person. We're going with an armada. We're gonna kick your ass. End of story. We're not gonna take jet. And because you got the strongest army in the world. You can be the softest people because people inside your country don't have to do jack. You're not like Israel that they have to do 2 years. You don't have to. You don't have to
they
because
have
the
to do two
government's
years
doing it
to
for
do
you.
what?
In Israel, all citizens have to go 2 year mandatory 2 year military enlistment. You don't have to do that in this year because your government is kick ass. You have the number one technology as far as military drones and everything else. Nobody even close to you to GPS or what you spend on military hardware. So
I
therefore,
I give I give him one example of how great. I ain't gonna say how great America. That sounds like Donald Trump, but
make
just
America
to
great
give you
again.
an example, all these countries you go to, you only get in because you got an American passport. A lot of these countries, man, you have to go through hell and high water to get in. So that just shows you how powerful America is. People respect America in these other countries, man. People died across the borders, man. People, my grandfather's from Cuba, man. He's, rest in peace. But he came to America on a tube, man. You know, you taking life chances to get to America, man. You know what I'm saying? So we take it for granted, but man, we gotta
I,
wake
I,
up, smell the coffee, man, and realize, yeah, man, these other countries may be better for you in different ways. It might be less stress, healthier food, nice looking women, all the stuff that you kind of want, but some of the stuff you forget that you have here in America. You know what I'm saying? So
but
go ahead, brother.
But the thing you have to remember, the reason you have that because you're in America. Let me put it this way, and I was looking at Marwan where he says he got deported from one Asian country because of his passport. And he's always saying, if I was in another passport, my cool. I was talking to a girl today. She says to go to the United States, they need a visa. I said, I don't need a visa to come here, but you got a visa to my country. Let me put it this way to you. I'm in Panama, right? And you don't see these things when you're in the United States. And I always try to explain people to this, and I got to make it as simple as possible because people don't. Well, I always tell them you can't have a 360 view standing in one place. You just can't. If you stand in one place, you can't have a 360 view, right? So I'm in Panama, and the young lady says, I said, why don't you go to the United States? We can go up there. No, I said, why don't you go to Mexico? She said, what? He said, and now this is 5 years ago. He said, hey, I was doing something with my cousin. I said, when you come to Mexico, let's go to Mexico. She said, I can't go to Mexico. I said, why not? He goes, you need a visa. I said, but anybody goes to Mexico. I go to Mexico all the time. I go to Cali and I go to Mexico. Back in the days, they used to show ID to go to Mexico and back out. Now you need a passport. Back in the days, you used to show ID because I lived in Cali. I said, but you go to Cali in and out. I used to go to Cali in and out. It's easy. He goes, for you. For me, it's not. I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, you know, hard. Mexico is the hardest country to get to in Central. Well, Mexico is North America, right? Mexico, and I said, that's BS. So now I have to understand. I have to back up and go. You got a point, because, and this is how they see it, right? Mexico don't want anybody in there. They want to send people to the United States because we're a richer country. but they don't want nobody in their country, right? The only reason they let people in their country because Trump pissed them off and that they're Honduras and people go through. But other than that, they would never be going through Mexico because Mexico is very hard to get into. Now, I'll explain to somebody like this, right? And people don't get it, but please, I hope you're open-minded to understand where I'm coming from. Imagine if you have a cousin who's a trillionaire, right? That's the United States. You're a trillionaire. So you're really wealthy, and you only want to with trillionaires. Then you have another cousin who's a billionaire, and he's really wealthy, and he only wants more billionaires. And you have a country that's a millionaire. The trillionaires goes, why do you mess with those billionaires? They're ugly, they're nasty. The billionaires like, yeah, those billionaires have no millionaire nothing. Okay, the trillionaires United States, the billionaire is Canada, and the millionaires is Mexico. Mexico has the most oil in the world. People forget that. The third richest person in the world is a Mexican, right? Because he owns most of the wire system in the world, right? And plus, Univision, everything they exported to Central America, it comes from Mexico. All the translation comes from Mexico. Univision, every channel you have in the United States comes from Mexico. But you guys don't see that. All you see is that they're no good because they're less of value than we are. Not less of value, but they have less money than we have. But from people who only have thousands, Mexico have millions. So they're like, whoa, they're rich. But to us, we have trillions. So we look at them like they're nothing, you're garbage. But when you piss them off like Trump is doing, you may have to cut your survival rate because you have the export-import tariff and whatnot. But you got to remember, Mexico has the most gas in the world, right? Well, one of the most gas, they have some of the most reserves in the world, right, with gas, and they have the connection. So they're a very rich country in Central America. I think they're the richest country in Latin America, right? If I don't, somebody let me know. But the richest country in Latin America by far, right? Because everything comes out of Mexico, all the movies and everything else of that nature. So to us, because we're trillionaires, and to Canada, because they're billionaires, they think of them as garbage because they're only millionaires. But if I'm in Panama, who I'm just have thousands, not even nothing, to me, Mexico's humongous. I can never get there. And that's how we see it. We see it as, based on your point of view, like a car crash. Based on where you stand and your point of view, you're going to see it differently. But to people, when I go home, they're like, we can't get to Mexico. When I go to Costa Rica and Limon or stuff, we can't get to Mexico. When we go to Colombia, we can't get out of the country. We need visas for everything. We need visas. I don't need a visa to go to the country, but you need a visa to come to mine. But I can come to your country, do whatever I want, but I can leave. You can't. So, you know what I'm saying? Because look at it. We can go to Mexico. No, we can go to we can come here to DR. And we don't need a visa, but DR can't come to the United States. They need a visa. We go to Colombia, but they need a visa.
You can go on Rumbas, and the chicas can't go on.
Yes. Yeah.
So well, you get the wrong because you're American.
No, well, because I have money, because I'm American money. But what I'm trying to say is perspective, man. The perspective of the gentleman that we allows in the United States, when you look at what you have, when you're used to something, I wish if they strip you of it and you have to use it and you have to get it and you see from a Spanish person perspective, you see what you have, man. Because when you have nothing, man, it's crazy. But when you have a lot and you get bored of it, you're like, oh, we don't have nothing. Like, them kids, we don't have nothing. Yeah, but a lot of people really don't have nothing.
All right, Andre, right here. I think he was trying to get a hold of you a while back. We'll talk about that offline. But he says U.S. also leads in the world's cancer, obesity, shootings, abortion, incarceration.
That's true. But the reason is that is because of sugar intake. I mean, we colorize sugar. I don't want to get into it because that's not my thing. But cancer comes from loss of sugar. Now, have you ever seen people with two different kinds of color? That's sugar. But we can get into that in detail. But sugar, remember, they have to clarify. Sugar's brown, so they have to go through a chemical reaction to change sugar to what it is. In the Bible, there's no sugar, there's honey. So if you switch sugar, I ain't saying you're not, because that could be hereditary too. You can bring it from the child. There's a lot of ways you get cancer. But for the most part, from chemicals though too. So, but abortion, yeah, there's a place called B4 right here too. But like I said, man, yeah, you could do it. You could go natural. There's a lot of different ways, and that's a different conversation to have. But if that's your point of view, if you like it, I love it. That's my motto. If you like it, I love it. I'll let you go on your path. But I do think you have a point there. But that's any first world country with that first country's headaches, and that's a first country headache. My father said that's rich people problem. I mean, when you're talking about you're poor and you're overeating, obesity, you're overeating. That means you have money. You don't see people overeating. Most people overeat in Spanish countries. They're all skinny. Go to Colombia. No, go to Costa Rica. Most of them are skinny. Muslim is kidding because they walk everywhere. They have no cars. You don't see a fat. You don't see them yelling obesity. There's a few people, but you don't see them yelling obesity. You see them
Right,
yelling obesity in the United States. McDonald's oversized, Burger King oversized, and you don't give them a large cup, they get pissed. What
right.
is this?
I mean,
So
look at
yeah,
the drinks they give out in America at McDonald's, and the drinks they give out in Colombia be fucking little teacup shit. You be like,
so that
yo, there be like three of them motherfuckers. They be looking at you crazy. I'm like, man, that little ass shit.
so that like my father said, that's first world issues, man. Those are my father said those are rich people issues, man. I don't deal with that. That's rich people. Obesity is a rich people issue. You don't see poor people dealing with obesity that much. And India has the lowest obesity in the world. Well, really, France, but India, for some fact, they exercise and they what you call that what you stretch all that stretching. I forgot the Pilates thing. But hey, to each his own, man. If you believe that, you believe that. That's the mom. Santiago.
Right, right.
Oh yeah. Hey, I wanted to touch on something that I spoke when I spoke to Dries last time, and this one bothered me too because I spoke to Dries about Panama, and I wanted to clarify that too if I can. Um, sorry, from Panama you can go anywhere in Panama for 35 to 75 cents. I said 40 cents and I said 80 cents. That was off. And when I came home, it really got me because I have my and I want to show you my passport and my stuff. Okay, if you go to if you in Panama Canal, no, if you're in Panama Airport, Tocumen, and you get out, there
Continue
is,
on, brother.
yeah, go ahead.
No. Continue on. I'm gonna step out for just a second. Continue on your story though.
Okay. Yeah. No, they do treat it, but you got to find it. But my thing is this: there's some awesome people up there. I always go to I forgot the name of the Harvard professor who puts out these great thing about all over the world. The Black Asper going to every country, and that's what I really look at for a lot of guys and understand it. But the thing with Dries, if you go to Panama and you're in Tocumen Airport, there is a bus that stops right in front of it every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, it's 35 cents to get it. You have to have a card. If you don't have a card, well, you could ask somebody. But it's every 15 minutes stops in front of it until 10 o'clock. So there's no reason to take a taxi. Now, the taxi do not want you to take the bus. And they don't even want you to see the bus. So they will stop you at any way to stop from the bus. Now, if you cannot get that bus that's right outside, it's in the first column when you get out of Panama, Tocumen, if you're in the airport. It's only one airport. And that's 35 cents. And that takes you to the second stop is the train station. But even before that, let me back up. If you follow the path that goes around Tocumen, you get to the other bus stops. And that bus stop will take you back because all the bus stop goes to Cinco de Marzo. Diciembre? No. 5 of March. I forgot how you say it in Spanish. So, but if you go to if you take that bus, the second stop will take you to the train station. Train station is 35 cents. That train station, from there, you go from there to San Miguelito. I'm from Miguelito, and I know this may be crazy, but I was thinking about it when I talked to Dries last time. You switch buses, you go to Albrook Mall. From Albrook Mall, you go to Cologne, and that whole ride should cost you no more than $2 from Cologne, from the airport to Cologne for $2. So, and you can do it yourself. Panamanians do it because mostly all Panamanians take the bus. They get new cars now, but all of them take the bus. And the train system that they just put up there is phenomenal. It's I think it's second to none out there. 35 cents for the train, but at the airport, they do not want you to take the bus. The damn taxi do not want you to take the bus. So they will stop you before you get to the bus. But there is a bus that comes to the airport itself, and it stops at 10 o'clock every 15 minutes, and it's 35 cents. The second stop from that bus stop is the train station. You go to that train station. The train station takes you everywhere in Panama. In Panama City, David, no, not David, Albrook Mall, Dopan, all of that will take you. So those
Well,
are
how
it. So you
much are the
shouldn't.
cab rides though?
I don't take cab rides unless I need them. Okay, if I take like I said, we got to take a conversation. You and I and Breeze on that. If you go to the airport and you get out of Tocumen Airport, then the first column that you meet, there's a bus that will come and pick you up every 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I know
heard
because
you talking about that. But I mean,
every
like,
15 minutes.
how much is the cab ride though?
I don't know. They go get you for anything they want. It's a free market. It's a free market.
$20.
They
Most
usually do 35, 20, 35, maybe $40, depending if they can get a sucker. But I mean, wow, when you go only pay 35 cents. Because that's what it is. I mean, fool is born every minute. It depends what's your comfort level. I mean, when I go with my boys they want to go in a taxi. I'm like, cool. And I ride in a taxi with them. When I go by myself, I take a bus. It's your comfort level. I just don't see why I give up $35 when it's only 35 cents. But I'll just call my cousin to pick me up or something. But if I don't want to bother them, I get on the bus. Like I said, the first stop, the second stop. Now he also said he wanted to meet black people. When we went to Cuman, all that is black. 24 Noviembre and all that area is black, but he wouldn't have known that. But once I got off with him, I wanted to say that to him though. If you're going to Panama, remember there is a bus stop at the train station. Now there's a bus that comes to the airport every 15 minutes until 10 o'clock. Because I asked the woman when I was there. And the second stop is the train. And that train will take you anywhere in Panama you want to go to, and that should cost you no more than 70 cents. So why take a? I mean, and the bus is brand new. I used to have a link to it or a thing to it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, some people might not want to be on the bus with a suitcase.
Why not?
I mean,
why not?
Like you said, convenience, man. And then you may not know where to get off at your stop. Man, you know how Americans is, man. We don't want to take no bus.
Look, I'm a backpacker. I'm a backpacker. I like doing because the next step is going to be the train. You're gonna see the train station because it's brand new. You're gonna see when it will stop in the train station. That's the second stop from there. Is gonna be if you're coming back. The last stop is gonna be Tocumen. It's right there. You're gonna see it. Anyway, that's just me. I take the bus all the way because that's me. My brother always laughs at me because like you take the bus everywhere and train everywhere. I'm like, yeah, why shouldn't I? Bus goes everywhere. Goes to the mall. If you go to Albrook Mall, Albrook Mall in Panama, that's where I remember this. If you don't remember anything I said, always say Albrook Mall because the bus station is in Albrook Mall. From Albrook Mall, you can go anywhere in Panama. If you want to go to Colón, if you want to go to Costa Rica too, but if you want to Colón, if you want to David, everything. Every bus stops in Albrook Mall because that's the bus station. That's the Home Depot for the buses. And the Air Panama is around the corner from there. So everything stops. And that's the second stop from when you get to the city. So you don't need nothing. It's everything on the train route.
Straight
anyway,
shot.
That's just my thing. Yes.
Well, I have to get all the info from you, man. I'm definitely gonna hit Panama. I'm not sure when you going back out there.
I don't know. I'm trying to go to. I love Colombia, so I'm trying to go to San Andrea, or my next is either San Andrea or Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. Vietnam. So either one of those two is going to be by June. One of those two. I don't need Panama's not even my radar because I'm not even thinking of Panama. I'm sorry. I don't even think because maybe that's home, and that's just where I go. So it's like you going back to. Huh?
He said, shout out to Dre Hart, man. He says, thanks, B. I'll be live tomorrow, players. Is there a bus that goes to Colon?
Colón. Yes, Colón. That's what Colón. Yes, it costs $1.25. And yo, Dries, one of the true legends in this. Awesome guy. Yes, you take it from the airport. If you're in the airport like you were last time, you take the bus. That's one right next to it. You take it. I'm giving you exactly how to get there. You take the bus. 2 stops from there will be the train station. From there, you go to San Miguelito. You go get from San Miguelito train buses. There's only 2 buses in Panama. It's like Atlanta, MARTA system. You go north or west, south or east. Oh, however, south and north, north and west, like that. So that takes you to Albrook. You go to Albrook Mall. Albrook Mall, that's when the train station's at. And then you just go to Colón. As easy as that. But if you want to see black people, there's black people around there because 24 Noviembre is right around the corner. That's my aunt lives in 24 Noviembre. And if you take the bus, go down the street, there's a basketball court full of black people. That's why I go to see them play ball in Panama. But that whole area is black if you ever want. But if you have but like I said, if you have nothing to do in Colón, there's no reason to be in Colón. Colón is not an easy town to be in. Colón is rough. If you have no family there, it's a tough town. It's not something you just want to go. It's not like you usually walk anywhere because. I explain this to people, and people don't understand what I'm talking about. But I explain this to people about neighborhoods in Spanish countries and not like American countries. And that thing you play in American countries is not going to run well in Spanish countries. One, because our barriadas are not streets; they're home to us. So if your neighborhood in Spanish country, let me give you Panama. In Spanish country, your neighborhood. People live there 50, 60, 70 years, they will never move. So the whole neighbor knows each other. Plus, the aunt, cousin, nephew, everybody lives there. So if you go to my neighborhood and you don't know anybody in there, everybody's going to challenge you. What you doing here, who you are, and if you don't, you're not coming out. As easy as that. Not to be rude with you guys, but you're not in the United States. This is not a joke. This is not the United States. We don't run like that in Spanish countries. And it's weird when I see Americans want to just walk around Spanish countries. It's like going to somebody's living room. It's like you opening somebody's door, going into the living room. Even though it's a neighborhood, you have no business there. You can't go there in Spanish countries. It just, I can't say, you just can't do that. And I hear it, and I'm like, yo, you guys come from
But
America.
what about Migo Worldwide? He doesn't.
No. I don't know what he does, but I'm telling you, you go to my country and you go to a neighborhood you don't belong and they don't know you, you ain't coming. And I'm not trying to be mean or trying to be hard or trying to be out, but you just don't do stuff like that. It's very disrespectful to people there because nobody brought you here. You have to be brought with somebody. Now, if I bring you my country, everybody's gonna open their arm for you. You go to any house you want, everything else, because I brought you in, blah, 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 blah. You can, my cousin's gonna treat you like family. You come up, you can call my cousin up. He'll be the first one picking you up from the airport. And there will be no distinction between me and you and my family because I brought you in and everybody knows you and whatnot. And that's most Spanish countries. But that's from a black person or a Spanish person who knows the in and out of Spanish countries. But you don't go to somebody's neighborhood if you don't know, and especially in a tough neighborhood, you don't go to somebody's neighborhood unless you know somebody's in that neighborhood and they can introduce you. That's why when he said Cologne and the people wouldn't take him there, they were right. You can't take him there because if you take him to the wrong place and leave him there, you ain't gonna see him again. You might not see him because people are very overprotective of their neighborhood. People steal in those neighborhoods. That's why they have the bars. People rob in those neighborhoods. People do a lot of things in neighborhoods. So everybody's over precaution. And if you have no business there, give you a quick story again. I went to my neighborhood after 30 years of not being there, right? I went to grammar school there. My brothers, everybody's well known in my neighborhood. I walked in, I wanted to go to my old grammar school. So I said, my cousin's like, I'll walk you up. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. I walked up. And the woman's like, who are you? I said, my name is this and this and this. Okay, cool. I walked around the corner. The other person challenged me. Who are you? I said, I am this, my father, blah, 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 blah. He goes, oh, yeah, what's school? Your brother, what's school, blah, 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 blah. Come on, have a cup of coffee. If he didn't know my name or anything else, it was going to get very dirty real quick because we don't take contact. And it's not being mean to anybody. That's just how we roll. It's not America.
They don't want outsiders in the neighborhood.
It's everybody's family in these places. They're not really out yet. It's not even that because we don't know if you're gonna rob. We don't know what you're gonna do. We don't trust. But once we know who you are, we trust everybody else, and it's good. Everybody in my family lives in my neighborhood, so I can walk up and down. But everybody knows since I went to school, my mother had, we built the house, blah, blah, blah. But that's what most Spanish countries are. Neighborhoods. Like that's why I could go to 11 onto the how you call it was Comuna 13 in Colombia, and I could understand it. I felt at home there. I'm like, oh, this felt like house because I'm used to those corners. I'm used to those streets. I mean, I can navigate because I know if you guys ain't used to it, it's gonna be kind of rough because the code is different. But it says Marvel was talking around the Cologne Solo.
He's walking around.
Look, I can send you to Brooklyn by yourself. I can take you to the Bronx by yourself. There's some places. Okay, let me put it this way. You know Bankhead. I lived in Bankhead, right? I lived in Camberton Road. 18 Honeysuckle in Camberton Road. I lived in the Bankhead, right? I lived in all those spots, right? I also lived in Cobb and all that, Stone Mountain right now. Right. I lived in Bankhead. I remember going to Bankhead in the 90s, and it was cracking Overlook Atlanta. Remember, you know Overlook Atlanta, right? Oak Cliff train station. You know, so you know you what I'm talking about. Okay, back in the days when I went to Atlanta, and this is back when Gray Fox was there or Silver Fox was there and all that craziness, right? Now, I've been to Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn and all that. When I went to Bankhead, I was scared. There was so much crack in there, literally on the street and whatnot, and the places looked dark. Remember, I don't know how old you are, but they used to charge us nothing for rent in Bankhead. That's when I was there because I had a room in Bankhead. Because I'm like, yo, they were charging nothing for but nobody wanted to be there. It was really rough, and every time I went there, I had to watch my back. But it was after a while, it just became home. I came in, blah 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 blah. But I wouldn't tell a person who's not into the street to go around Bankhead. You follow me?
Yeah, I mean, back then, Atlanta, it was real rough then, bro. Like for real.
And I'm telling you when it was rough. I ain't talking about now. I'm talking about when you really had to watch your back. When you went to Bankhead, the sky looked like it was dark, even though it was a sunny day. It was just rough.
You pull up, it'll be 30 niggas run up to the car, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I give you a good story about that. Check this out, man. Somebody pulled out a gun on me on there, man. Almost shot me. Almost killed me there. Craziness. Every day was someone back here. I was going to work one day, and I was going to Oakland train station. So I'm going up, and my man is hitting a girl. Wow, he has a girl that he's beating up. I mean, he's hitting her hard. slamming against the board. This is in Bankhead, broad day. This is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to work, right? And he's beating her. And I was like, yeah, I can't deal with this no more, right? Because I ain't with that. I was like, okay, let me go take care of this dude, right? So I back up now. I'm coming to get him. So I'm like, yo, you got to stop this shit. So I'm about to hit him. Homeboy pulled out from his car, put a gun to my head. My boy, what the are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Mind your own damn business. Yo, I froze. I knew I was going to die that day. I was like, he put the girl in the car and he bounced. I said, man, this is bad, kid. They weren't playing with you. They weren't playing. This is bad about it. This is the South for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I say, it's still pretty bad over there, but they cleaned it up a
Yeah,
lot. No.
I lived on 18 Honeysuckle Lane. My rent was $250. I lived in Oak Tree thing there. I didn't pay that one for 2 years.
You didn't pay her for 2 years.
Nah, man. This old woman. She had. Oh no. It was funny. It was funny. She was a lawyer, right? But she had Alzheimer's, and the kids wouldn't visit her. But we didn't know she didn't have Alzheimer's, so she would forget to get the rent. So we never paid her. And we lived forever. I lived there for like 2.5 years. Nobody asked me for rent, and I got so mad. I was like, look, I'm gonna leave before they bounce. But they never did, man, because the kids took the property over. But yeah, that's Atlanta, man. It was a piece of garbage anyway. It's all beat up, but. Hey, we went. We were like 20, so who cares?
Hey, but you know, like a lot of that property, like in the Bluff, Simpson Road, and all
Every
that,
homes.
man, you cannot find no property out there. Even what they call them, the bandos, you cannot even find a bando broken down house for under 250. Everything over there like 400 now, bro. You know, so. Yeah, and it's like still the ghetto, but everything out there is like, you want it, you gonna pay for it, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's
And
prime property, man. That Bluff area, that's prime property. You know.
I remember back it went into Buckhead, and I never understood that. How the roughest area turns out to the best area. Backhead turns into Buckhead. That was crazy.
Right.
It was crazy. But anyway, that's just a little story.
But yeah,
almost everywhere, man.
But yeah, I agree, man. Like, you know, you take a chance of just walking around in random neighborhoods and stuff like that. Some people do look at it as disrespect, man, you know?
Well, like I said, in Spanish countries, some places, and I'm not saying all because everybody's different. I know my neighborhood, and I'm not saying we're tough, it's just how we live, is that we don't take wealth you coming over on a, because it's like coming to somebody's living room, actually opening the door, going to the living room, their neighborhood. Everybody in the neighborhood knows each other. They've been there 30, 40 years. You know, I could walk in at I've been on buses where I've been lost and a neighbor catches me. Hey, hey, Tony, ven por acá. ¿Qué tú estás haciendo aquí? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando por acá? Or somebody knows somebody. They're not going to let you fall because everybody's connected. You guys are not connected. I'm not saying that you guys, some places are connected like that. But in Spanish countries, you have nothing. So all you have is each other. Sometimes you have, but it is. My aunt lives in Boca del Toro, and she doesn't work, she doesn't have food, and she doesn't need to because she goes to people's houses and they eat. And you were like, how the hell do you do that? Because that's what they used to. They bought a system and they go anywhere they can eat. But that's what they do it. It's not that they're homeless or anything, because he actually could. But that's what they do. They could do that. For you guys, it would be far-fetched. It would be crazy. I've been some places in Colón that, en nombre de Dios, on that area, donde la Isla Grande, just before you get there, there's no stores. You got to go to people's houses to get food. You got to know where you get your plantains. You have to know where you get your rice. You have to know where you're going to get this. But you know where everybody's house is. Well, there might be one store and the light turns off at 8 o'clock. But but anyway, this is just Spanish thing I'm talking about. Anybody Spanish would understand what I'm talking about. Anybody listen to rural areas should understand what I'm about. And there's one bathroom that's in the middle of the damn town. And everybody goes to take a shower at 5 o'clock because everybody's hitting the river about the same time. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's story for another day.
Word. So how long you gonna be in the suit, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here till tomorrow. We going back. I got to go back to work, man. It's nice. I got a regular job. This is my. I took some time because I really wanted to see Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. I did. It was something that I wanted to do. I never thought I'd be here, but being here and seeing it, I really enjoyed it. I will come again. I probably won't go to Sosua. I'll probably go to Puerto Plata. I'll probably go to Santiago.
Did you get out to Puerto Plata? Did you get out that area or what?
I went to Puerto Plata. I went to Puerto Plata. I thought the people were friendly. The same. Sosua is great too. It's just not my town. Everybody has their likes and dislikes. Sosua is not my town. I like Puerto Plata. I like Santiago. For me, I like Santiago, but I love Santo Domingo. I could flaunt Santo Domingo easy. I like the Haitian, the Haitian flow. I like the Dominican flow. I like that I could get a bus anywhere. I mean, I was getting buses real quick, wherever I wanted to get to. I was
Oh,
getting
you
there. I
do the
didn't need a
buses
concho.
out there in DR too? Like,
Yeah, I never take a
regular.
taxi. What you need a taxi for,
You talking about from
dude?
Sosua to Santo Domingo, not like the buses on the inside the city.
The bus on the inside of the city. I only took buses.
You a real backpacker.
No, I speak Spanish. There's nothing with the buses. But the bus is like 25. No, it's 50 cents. Sometimes 50 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents. I didn't see a big thing. The buses are direct. They go straight where you want to get to. I didn't see the big thing in it. I took the Caribe tour from Santiago to Santo Domingo. We went to Santo Domingo, took regular buses. I thought they were fast, and
Do
they
you
drive
catch the
through real. They
bus in the
great.
States?
Where?
When you in the States, you catch the bus?
No, I got a car. I got a car. There's no fun to catch. I would never catch the bus. Get out of here. I have a car. I would never catch the bus. You never catch me in a bus. No, but it's not fun to me. It's fun to me when I go to other countries and doing it. Because how you gonna meet people if you're not in the bus? I mean,
I
to
mean,
me,
I catch the bus or a train, in different countries and stuff, but it's not something I'm gonna do every day on vacation. I might do it once for the experience.
no, I do it all
Shit,
the
I'm
time. That's how I
Ubering
get
that
around.
shit. I'm catching the
No,
cab.
no,
Oh, I'll walk too. I'll do some walking, but
no, no. I'm vertically
shit,
challenged, man.
yeah, I feel you.
I no, I just look. When you're in a bus, you get to meet people of the country. You could talk to them. You talk to them, and you engage them in conversation. I'm Spanish, so I speak Spanish. And when they don't know where I know where I'm going, all the women usually always help me out. I mean, I had a tour that showed me the whole. I took pictures of Santo Domingo at the Shield, everything in Santo Domingo. She was my tour. She took me everywhere. She met me in a bus. She couldn't believe I was in Spanish. She thought I was Dominican. Oh, you playing with me? I'm like, no, I'm not Dominican. I'm Spanish. I speak with a Dominican accent because all my friends are Dominican, but I'm not Dominican. She's like, no, you Dominican. Why you lying to me? You're Dominican. I'm not Dominican. So she started laughing at me. She walked away. Then I had to talk to my boy in English. So when I was talking to English, she went, oh, okay. You don't know where you're going? I said, no, I don't know where I'm going. My first time here. She goes, okay, don't worry. This is my house right here, but I'm gonna take you where I gotta take you to. So I'm gonna spend the day with you. She spent the whole day with us. Well, she spent a couple of days with us, but she took us everywhere we wanted to go. It was cool, and usually that happens. Most Spanish people are friendly. You talk to them, but there's a disconnect because the language barrier. But I've lived in Spanish countries and in poor countries. I've been poor my whole life, and I've been a poor black person in Spanish countries. Not much you're gonna tell me about your country. A poor is poor. A ghetto is a ghetto. You know what you gonna tell me about your country? I haven't experienced in mine. Ghetto's a
Right.
ghetto.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate. I ain't gonna hold you up all night. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes. Anything else you
Yeah.
wanna talk about with the channel, brother?
No, Larry breaks is not just in Latin America. They do it in Jamaica and Trinidad. All countries. First of all, please understand something. And I want to put this out. Yeah, let me get this little before you leave on that. In 19 wait in 19 what 1994 19 no 1894. That's when Colombia is a country. Grand Colombia. Let's go to Grand Colombia. Grand Colombia is Panama, Salvador, Ecuador, Colombia, and what's the name? What's that country that backs up to it? Well, a little part of another country, put it that way. That's Gran Colombia. Gran Colombia is 6 countries. That used to be Gran Colombia. In 1894, the United States wanted to make a Panama Canal. Well, there wasn't Panama Canal. Wanted to make a canal across Colombia. Well, the Colombian rebels, no, the Colombian people would not give them the Colombia. They offered them, they offered the Colombian people, and don't exactly know the number, but they offered them 3 million. Let's say 3 million, right, to make a canal from Pacific to the Caribbean. Okay, the Colombians said no, we don't want your money because you also are the French and the Chinese that still want this canal. So we want to see how much money they're saying. They said no, we won't. Well, there was a group of rebels that wanted to overthrow the country and wanted to make this country named Panama. So the Americans, what they did is they gave them the arms and money to overthrow the country. So they overthrew it and they became Panama. So the reason Panama is what it is because the United States, right? So the United States gave them the money to overthrow the country, and the United States gave them the money to secede the country. When they did, the United States said, "Okay, cool, you succeeded. We want this land. We're not asking you. We want this land. This land is Caribbean and half of your country." They called it the Panama Canal, right? So half. If you ever seen the movie Roberto Duran, you see how they took half of my country. They didn't ask. They just took it. We're gonna leave that for another day, right? So they took out the country. If you remember Roberto Duran, the movie, you see how the hostility there, how they wanted the arm put the gun to the Panamanian who wanted to go climb over the canal zone wall to go to the other side, which is nice. I've been to the canal zone when it was like that. It was very nice. It was very nice. So in 1905, we got our independence. When we started building the canal zone in 1905, at that point in time, we brought white people to Panama, but they were being killed by malaria. So a person named Walter Reed created the cure for it, right? Malaria for that. Then they couldn't bring them, so they brought people from Trinidad, Jamaica, China, India. A lot of people from the Trinidad to Panama. That's what Panama became black. But at that point in time, Panama was not black. Panama was Indian and Spanish, right? That's what they became black. So Panama's has a lot of Trinidad, Spanish. So basically, all the cultures that going back to your last viewer, all the country Panama has everything in it. So we have rote, goldfish, we have all that. We have to talk like this. So most of Panama are going to talk broken English. If you go to Panama, the station is going to be reggae. You're not going to hear reggae. You're like, but it's a Spanish country. Yeah, but it's heavily influenced by Caribbean because that's who we are, right? So remember, reggaeton is Panamanian, right? Because that's reggae. I remember when it came out. Reggaeton is, and then everybody broke it down and took it and do whatever. But reggaeton is Panamanian, right? And that's because Spanish has a strong, Caribbean has a strong influence in Panama. So that's your Panamanian thing to Trinidad. And basically everything is basically the same. Whatever you had in Trinidad or Jamaica, whatnot, you would have. My great-great-grandparents are from Jamaica and Cuba. So that's the influence of Panama in there. But like I say, your history, we all connected, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know you got to go. We've been here 126. It was quick, man. It felt quicker than it really was.
Like 20 minutes. So y'all see his little video. I think he said he got 3 or 4 more of them coming up. It's the flip
When
flop.
I get home, when I get home, I'll do the editing. This is a quick thing I just put up just so people can see it until I get home and I'll be able to do stuff on my computer.
So I see this lady in the back. She's a female. It's a sword. Some of y'all don't like that. Them studs coming down there taking all the chicas.
Nobody was mad at her, man. Look, live and let live, man. I'm a firm believer, man. You live on your space, I live on mine, and we cool with that. I have no problem with nobody of any gender. My thing is I live in my space, man. And I'm comfortable with my skin. So whatever you got to do, you do. And I bet you she ain't going to take nothing that's not hers, though, because,
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But, you got a certain group of guys out there. They think like that,
Yeah, which is to each his own. My thing is let live and let live, man. She ain't doing nothing to you. If she has game, that's on you. Or raise your game up. Or give more money up. Let it rain. I mean, that's your game. But it was a good show. Hey, like I said, Greg did a great job with this, man. It was off the chain again. I can give the brother enough props. Yo, real quick, I would mean to do this story. Let me tell you about this, right?
Hold on, before you get into that. I saw one boat out there. It was kind of small, man.
yeah. There was one. There was one out there. I don't know how he pulled that up, but I guess he wanted to. It was a little one, and they were shaking. I think like 10 people in there. I don't know, but they came back. They were right next to it.
Was y'all boat? Because you were saying a lot of people jumped on yours. So was y'all over capacity? Something
no,
like
nobody
that?
was. No, because we went light. There was 3 girls to every guy in every boat, right? So, and there wasn't that many guys. There just seemed like there was a lot in ours because that young lady was making it rain. And Cuban cigar smoker was up there, and he was piping some good music. He really was. And then everybody got live. So it was a good thing. I never went to anybody else's boat because we were jamming it out, and I stayed in one spot. I was just, I was working as far as I was concerned. I was just doing, make sure I got the movies right and doing what I wanted to do. But like I said, I had a great I had a great time. Me and my boy, we had a blast. We had a blast, 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 blast. So it was fun. It was
Yeah,
definitely
it look
something I
like
could
it,
look
man.
forward to doing. I was
So
definitely
did
something
you
I could
have
look
to
forward
rent
to
that
doing.
boat like way in advance?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I heard it on YouTube, because I'm like I said, I'm a fan of everybody else. So I heard it on YouTube, and then by the time the Cuban Cigar Smoker said it on his site, I already had my ticket, so I really wasn't worried about my space. And I bought it so far in advance that by the time everybody caught up to it, they're already fighting for tickets. I already had my tickets, so I never had a beat because I spoke to Greg himself, and we kept on back and forth with the Texas, and then we straightened everything out like that. We did PayPal. It was cool. Everything, like I said, everything was done professional. And that's the
Word.
thing I want to talk. I want to share this story, right? And I
Right.
know I'm not trying to drop names, so really not. But it is what it is, right? Now I met Craig. This is the first time I ever met him. And he's taller than I thought. I thought he was gonna be my height. He's taller than me. Everybody's taller than me. I'm sorry. I'm vertically challenged. I'm telling you straight up. So anyway, I go to Flip Flop and I roll up on Craig, and he came a nicest person you can meet, nicest person. And I looked away because he was on the first boat on that side, and he was just in the top, just chilling, just giving us a couple of orders and hanging out. And I'm looking at him like, yo, this guy's so cool with in his skin. And the only thing I could think of was P Diddy, right? And now you could understand this story. There's a P Diddy story. I got a million stories of this shit in Atlanta. But anyway, remember, I don't know if you probably a little too young. Remember Shark Bar was in Midtown? There's a restaurant
Shark
called
boy,
Shark Bar. Yeah.
absolutely. How old are
Okay, I
you,
used to
man?
work.
How old are you?
I ain't gonna put that out there now because you put me on the spot with how old are you? Now I'm almost 50, man. I'm 48. So
Now,
I
Shark
used to
boy,
work.
that was a spot where yeah,
Yeah,
P Diddy and
that
yeah, he pulled up. I did go into that spot, but back then I used to do like street promotions and stuff. So
okay.
we used to get paid for that, but that's the only time I ever went in there because I wasn't no baller like that.
Oh no 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 no. Well, I'm gonna give you two stories. Then I'm gonna give you two stories. I'll give you a Shark Bar story. How I ended up working for P Diddy, right? But
Right.
this is it started with one story. Now you got me. But anyway, if you know Shark Bar, you know the menu is the same as P Diddy. Justice. Justice is in Art Centers in Midtown. So now, quick story. Now, disclaimer. I don't know. This is my story. This ain't nobody else's story. This is my story. Now, I don't like P Diddy, right? At this point in time, I think I found him to be a clown. Just me. To me, the whole dancing bit wasn't my style, wasn't my flow, wasn't who I was, right? But I'm working at a Swiss Hotel in the Arts Center. If you remember back in the days, no, it was the Four Seasons. I'm sorry, I'm working at the Four Seasons in Arts Center. I think it still is for the Oxygen. Or I don't know because I haven't been in Atlanta in years. But back then it's Four Seasons. So I'm working Four Seasons. Solomon, one of the guys I work with. So he gets me a job working at P Diddy's spot. That's a waiter, and I'm waiting there. And you meet everybody in the industry. So one day, P. Diddy comes in. Now, I'm always sizing people up by height because I'm short. I'm a point guard. Back in the days, I was point guard. Now I'm bigger. So I'm a point guard. So he comes in and he come in like I was like, I'm still thinking I don't like this dude because in my mind he's what I hear he is. So he comes in, mad approachable, cool. He comes in as vice president, comes in, and just when he comes in, let me give you a little backstory about this. We had a general manager. I'm not putting this name out there, but we just had a general manager that was about to get married to this young lady, right? What it says, that's about to get married to this young lady. He was sleeping with the hostess, which is going to Morris Brown. If you remember Morris Brown's school up there, this little like man, she had a hell of a body. She was gorgeous. The general manager is dating the hostess, but he was getting married, right? He was getting married like in a month. So P Diddy walks in there and he gives him a note. So I'm standing right next to him because I'm doing stuff. I'm standing right next to him. He reads the note. He goes up to the general manager and he goes, "Hey, you're fired. We don't appreciate stuff like this. You're done." He looks at his vice president. He goes, "Take care of this," and he left. I said, "That's a boss move." That's the girl put. I found out later. The girl put, "Hey, I've been having an affair with this guy for so long, and he's with Matt. I just found out he's married. He's been telling me this, blah 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 blah." He did. He found out. He fired him on the spot. He goes, "Yeah, we don't appreciate stuff like that. You fired. Pick your bags up." He turned around. He left, and he let the vice president handle it. I looked at him like, I just like this dude from that day on. From that day on, I have nothing bad to say about that cat. I said, "Man, that's a boss move." But anyway, when I met Greg, I got that vibe though. So that's what he reminded me. It reminded me when I met P Diddy, man. First time I met him, only time I met him. That
Right.
was it, man. That's my
So
little
what's the
P
other
Diddy
story,
story.
man? You say you
Oh, the
had
other. Oh, the other story is a shootout. We got into a shootout in man, I got into a lot of shootout. Anyway, the other story is a shootout in Shark Bar. Now, if you remember Shark Bar, there used to be a Chinese girl, an Asian girl, I'm sorry, that did the Andre 3000 video back in the days. It was an Asian girl. She was the manager back then at Shark Bar. She had a little attitude, but still, she was all right. She dealt with me, but me and the boss were real cool. So I'm working at Shark Bar, and if you remember Shark Bar, we had police officers outside. We had police officers outside. And everybody's who's who is a Shark Bar, but there's a club downstairs. You have to go through stairs to go downstairs to the club. And you had Cedric Entertainer. Everybody who was there, either place. So this particular night, I get my 2 tables. I'm waitering at the time. I'm a waiter at the time. So I had my 2 tables, and we had a lot of drug dealers. You know who it is. You know about these drug dealers. These drug dealers have money, and they usually come in with some girls. So 3 guys come in, and they have 6 girls, most beautiful girls in the booth. So there was a lot of football players, a lot of basketball players. I think it was like a Super Bowl or something big was going on. So I have 3 tables. They combined it together and made 1 table, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm a little pissed. I'm like, damn, you come out 3 of my tables. You come out 3. First thing out of his mouth is, hey, give me 6 Don P's. I said, what? And 3 bottles of Cristal. I got happy. I was like, oh, I hit the Super Bowl. I got this. I am happy as a mug. I'm happy as pig and shit. I am so happy. He just, hey, Cristal and P. Oh, let's start it. So I'm over here bending back forward to make sure that this guy's happy, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, he hands me a credit card. Remember, these are country boys. I mean, real country boys. He hands me a credit card with a MasterCard that the damn thing is light green and the words are scribbled on this side. I said, what kind of shit is this? So I turned to a manager and said, hey, not this, man, because this sounds fake as hell. I should have kept my mouth shut. Manager comes back with all the police, with 4 police behind me. She said, who gave it to you? Now, street code is, you don't tell. So I'm still thinking, I'm a dude. I'm like, I don't know who gave it to me. I know exactly who gave it to me, but I looked at him, I said, I don't know who gave it to me. I found it on the table. So the police like, hey, you're going to give, I think it was like $3,500 the meal. It was 35 something. It was big time money. So I was like, 35, plus you're going to give him his tip. So when he did all that, he gave the money. They coughed it up. I'm like, who the hell walks around with this money? He gave me like 4 G's. Gave me my money. He goes, so the police money, good. Now all you guys are under arrest. When he said that, homeboy took out his gun and started shooting. Pop, 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 pop. He's standing right in front of me. And he just started shooting, pop, 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 in the air. I have never seen something clear that quick. The whole Shark Bar cleared like in 30 seconds. All you saw before the balloon, for real, before the balloons went up, the Shark Bar was clear. All I remember is they left and the guys ran downstairs and out the door, right? I'm over here still frozen because I'm thinking I got shot. I'm like, oh, what just happened? And I'm thinking, I got my money in my pocket. I'm pretty good. So the next day, my boss tells me, oh, yeah, we're going to get those guys. We're going to get this guy. All we need to do is go to court and fill this affidavit, and you're going to tell on them. I said, I'm not doing nothing like that. I work here. I'm not putting my life in jeopardy. He goes, no, you're going to do that. I said, you know what? I just quit. I don't need to work here no more. I quit. Bye, right? I quit. So I called my boy Salomon, and he tells me, hey, I'll get you a job at P. Diddy spot. So like a month and a half later, I go to a table, and there's 3 same guys on my table. 3 same guys that just shot up the place a month earlier. So I walk up to the table. It's like, yo, you guys got me on the tip, right? I said, yeah. So everything's cool. We good? They said, yeah, we good. I said, all right, cool. Let's go and eat. I said, when they played, and they tipped me and they laughed. I said, woo, because I thought I was going to get killed that day. I said, because you can't do anything. They're right there. What am I going to do? I just had to play my card.
You would have got there. Shit.
Oh, I would have got. I would have got for real, man. Because these looked like they were pimps or drug dealers. I was like, come on, man, Cole, you don't tell. Even though I knew who they were, I was like, I told him, because the homeboy's like, who gave it to you? I said, no, I found it on the table. Man, get out of here. I don't know who did it. I don't know nobody.
Hey, man, that was a smart move, man. That was a smart move, man.
No, the smart move was when I met him a month and a half later, because I swear to God, I thought I was going to die that day. Because I'm like, if they shot up there, imagine what they're going to do to me. I'm like, huh? But I was like, I'm gonna get killed anyway today. I'm the man. I'm like, because remember, I had that corner. I don't know who's there until I get on that table. When I get on
the table, if you would have ran, they probably.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you did the right thing.
I was shedding bullets. I was like, I said, you gonna tip me, right? Because they tipped me last time. I said, you gonna tip me, right? I said, yeah. So we good. We good.
He tipped you last time?
Yeah, because they tipped me. Then the police officer said, okay, now you're all arrested. That's when they started shooting. I was
Right.
like, man, but anyway, man, I had too
So
many. I lived in Atlanta.
why would he say that? And he didn't have nobody with him?
Who?
The police when he said you all arrested.
There was 4 police officers behind me. When I look around, they were the first one to run. They were the first one gone. When he started shooting, the cops were the first one to run.
Right.
I'm standing there shocked. I'm like this. I'm gonna get shot today. But
So they didn't have no cameras and all that bullshit in there?
Nah, man. I don't know what happened to him. I know my manager came back to me the next
I mean,
day.
I'm sure they
You
knew
go
who they
testify.
was, but they just probably let it slide, you know.
Oh, I don't know. But ATL was crazy in my world. But anyway, that's back in the days. This is life, man. Anyway,
Right.
Reggie got story for days. I lived a life. I'm sorry.
We gotta do a show one day on ATL stories.
Oh man.
That'll be good.
Dude,
We can get a panel in.
man, I read through the ATL a lot when I was younger, but anyway, it's back in the days anyway. Don't. All right, man. So it's been nice. I know you got to go. It's 1:40. We almost hit the 2-minute mark.
So
2 hours. I'm sorry, 2 hours.
So you in Sosua, man? You going to sleep tonight? You supposed to be getting up.
We probably go to no. We probably go to Envy right now, right after you finish, because we can't show you Envy because the damn thing would turn off. But Envy's pop. Hey, is Envy popping right now?
Is Envy
popping right now? Is it packed? Everybody's in? Yeah, we go right after this. If we could, we probably would have brought you guys in, but they have lousy connection and we can't come outside to the balcony. But we right next to Envy, so we gonna probably go to Envy, just sit down and just run the town real quick, walk up and down. I mean,
all right. Well, make sure you record a little something, put it on your channel, man. So
Nah, I ain't recording that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't recording no Envy. He said not to record. I'm gonna take him at his word until he tells me otherwise.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because I could have taken my thing and recorded them. I'm like, nah, man, looked me in the eye, told me no. I'm good with that. I'm good.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but real quick,
man. Go ahead.
I wanted to do a comparison between Envy and Gusto because I was looking at both of them and I was like, yo, Envy or Envy, and in Español se dice Envy, and in English se dice Envy. Envy and Gusto are the same damn place. Gusto is taste in Spanish, right? Your taste is, well, anyway, but basically the same place. The same place. Envy and Gusto is basically the same thing. I wanted to ask you a question. Well, they're the same. Okay, I wanted to ask you, which one do you like more? Because they're the same thing. They are the same.
I've never been to Envy since they got the club there and all that. I mean, I hadn't been to DR since February last year, Super Bowl. So, okay. I hadn't been down there, man. But I mean, shit, I'll take Classico. But I mean, they all nice clubs, man. They all got their cons and they, I mean, like I said, I never been to Envy's club, but I have been. I went to that Super Bowl party last year, and it was all right, man. It was all right. It was all right.
I was trying to do a comparison between Envy and Gusto and see which one I like better. Of course, I had that incident happen to me at Gusto, so I really don't care for Gusto anymore. Fuck them. But that's just personally because I lost my damn money at Gusto and I couldn't get it back. But that's what it is.
Hold on, what was the incident? I think you
told. I told you. Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to your Gusto. No. Yeah, Gusto. It was like on a Friday. Just got paid. I was in the military back then. I just got paid, so I had nice little money and nice little change on me. So I went to Gusto. I'm chilling. My boys on the corner. I'm like, yeah. So I meet this girl, and she, hey, can you get me a drink? I usually don't buy a girl a drink, but I'm like, yeah, bump me. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll buy you a drink. So I bought a drink, and the guy said, you're going to pay it. And I'm like, I'm on my money. I threw my credit card at him. He gave it back to me. I left. I went back with my boys, and I chilled. Didn't think much of it.
Oh, yeah.
A month and a half later, I'm going through my bill statement, and I see this thing for $647 Gusto. I said, I didn't buy nothing at Gusto. So I called my bank and said, yeah, this is fraud. I didn't buy. I had 2 drinks there. He's like, yeah, well, can you call and dispute it? Where's your receipt? Do you have a receipt? I said, this is a month and a half. I don't remember no receipt. I don't keep a receipt. He goes, well, you have to call Gusto. Gusto gave me the runaround, always kept on pulling me off. You got to call this. They put me. It was just crazy. I said, you know what? It pays to play. You got charged into the game. So since then, I've never been to Gusto. I was like, yo, man,
So
they
your
got me.
credit card company won't honor the fraud?
No,
They
because it was a purchase. It was a purchase. What Gusto did is they took my, I think, and charged me 600 and some $47 for it, right? For two drinks. That's all I bought there. And but the thing is, I had no receipt to back it. They did the purchase, but they were like, okay, we can fight it, but what's the receipt? Because they gave you a receipt to sign. I said, yeah, I signed it, but I mean, I was at a bar. They were like, yeah, well, without the receipt, what are we gonna do? Because you got to call them and let them at least say that you were there and everything else. I called Goose like 10 times. They kept on, oh no, 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 blah, blah. It was crazy. So I let the money go. I was like, look, man, I got God that day. So I don't pay credit cards again. Even here, I won't pay no way credit
Man,
card. I do
I
cash.
never pay with credit cards in bars or clubs. Never. Not here in the States. Not there's too many. Yeah, fuck that. I don't do
Yeah,
that
well,
one.
I got God that
But
day.
you
But I
know,
paid
like
for
in
it.
the clubs now, what they do is they give you the drinks or whatever. And I can't remember if it was like that at Gusto's, but they bring the machine to you now. They charge you right there, and then they give you a receipt like right on the spot because they got the mobile machine. But I'm not sure if Gusto's was like that. I can't even remember. I didn't even buy no drinks in there, man, because we had like a section and we had drinks. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even have to buy drinks, you know. But it's all
Okay,
good.
sir.
But yeah, man, I enjoy having you on. Appreciate you taking our time. And man, stay safe tonight, man. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
I,
1:27 in the morning, so we good. We good. When the ATL. Oh no, we're in
it was two.
DR.
Okay, so it's one. Okay,
One
127. Okay.
27.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
So
what's
I will
up,
see you
man.
guys, man. It was great hanging out with you guys. This
We gotta
Branjor
do
from
another
Branjor Around
show
the
though,
World.
man. We gotta do another show. On my
Hey,
way,
whenever you
bro.
call me, man. Whenever you call me, I'm down.
All right, peace out, brother. Thanks, man.
All
Everybody
right.
hit the like
Thank you.
button if you can, man. I think it's 35 likes. If you hadn't hit it yet, you know, go ahead and hit that like button. Appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good
Woo.
night, brothers. Stay safe.
Okay. Cool.
Peace. Fly boy, holla at me, man.